Whitlow,
Brandon Spivey.
and we are the Markout Movie Podcasters. Wow. We got a few conversations and topics to talk about today. First, before we get into Vince McMahon, I want to mention this. I just saw this by Lanny Poffo, who is Macho Man Randy Savage's brother. So Lanny Poffo is my friend on Facebook, so that's pretty awesome. But he just reported this, which I wasn't aware of this, that Dave Hebner died. Uh, Not Earl, Dave, his brother,
Yeah.
his identical brother. I believe they're identical. They, you remember the famous skit of $1 Million Man hiring an imposter? Yeah, that's my most memorable thing with Dave Hebner. But he, for the longest time, he was like an agent essentially with WWE, working in the back. You see him every now and then whenever somebody's out of control and all the suits have to come out and calm somebody down. He'll be in the midst of them. But yeah, Dave Hebner passed away today. Brandon, your thoughts?
What you just said about the $1 Million Man storyline, that's really all I can really remember him, because Earl always shined. He was smaller too, so you really couldn't get him mixed up. That's really all I remember Dave for, is that little storyline. But I don't really know what to say. I'm sad that he passed away. It always sucks when you grew up watching, whether it's any kind of entertainer, and you really liked them or you respected what they did. And I definitely respected what Dave Hebner did as a referee or as an agent. It's just sad. And coming off of what's been going on in the wrestling world, it's just, there is no good news.
No, and
There isn't.
and this is now a segue to something that, depending on how you look at it, could be good news or good, maybe not. I don't know, but it's a long time coming. Vinnie Mac steps down as the CEO of WWE.
Well, for the time being.
For the time being, and I think Stephanie is supposed to be like interim CEO. I don't know if that's storyline or is this real?
No, it's real. It's real.
Okay.
But I think they've been planning for this. I think they saw this coming, because she stepped down a few weeks back, and Triple H stepped down. They were all stepping down. So I feel like this was their plan. They knew
to step away and let Vince can pretty much hang himself, so to speak.
Well, I think they're all in it together, though. I think.
Oh.
I really do. I don't think there's. It's not the first thing he's been accused of. I mean, the steroids in the 90s. He was accused of rape in 86. He was accused of covering up murder for Jimmy Snuka. I mean, he's been accused of a lot. He's gotten off on everything. So, and even in this situation, John Laurinaitis is supposed to be his fall guy if he does fall. So essentially, he'll be back to power after the investigation, no matter what. I believe that. He's untouchable in this business.
Is untouchable.
Don't you think he's untouchable? Even if they prove it, they already have it lined up for John Laurinaitis to take the fall.
Yeah, I can say that.
He's got fall guys. He's the mafia boss.
He has power.
But he does need to step down creatively. I would say WWE is probably maybe the worst it's been creatively. But what are your thoughts on this? I mean, are you surprised?
No, not really. I kind of figured eventually he has to step down, but I'm more surprised that I don't know. I'm surprised that. Well, I'm not surprised that I heard Sasha Banks is now gone as well.
That's the rumor that released her.
Yeah, well, she wanted to be released. I mean, they were not using her. They don't know how to use people well in WWE. She probably end
Not
up
unless
with
you're
AEW.
not unless you're Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is
she's the
true.
only woman there that's been used 100% right, overused. She's their John Cena, Hulk Hogan, Roman Reigns. She's the brand for women. Which I've always disagreed with how he's ran his business. Like in the Attitude Era, it wasn't just Stone Cold. It was a collective of guys. I think that's how it should be now. I mean, especially now, because you don't have no major stars there. They're all gone. So you should be a team. And Roman's kind of become Brock Lesnar
Yeah.
recently. He's become a part timer. So it's just I tried to get back into it, but once Cody got hurt, I was done. I canceled Peacock. So I'm done. I don't
Oh,
care. But I'm not
you
surprised.
probably heard yourself. Uh,
But I'm not
yeah.
surprised about the
I'm sorry.
allegations.
There we go.
What's that?
There we go. There we go. It
Okay.
was like a little feedback. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, there was a little feedback happening. I was trying to go on Facebook, so just in case anybody comment, we got a like from Cody Miles. Thank you, Cody. So I just want to be able to see people's comments. If they want to comment, please comment.
Yeah.
We love to hear people's thoughts on it. What's your thoughts on Vince McMahon stepping down? Uh, it is what it is. I haven't watched WWE in so long, so I'm so far removed from it. Uh, yeah, I was at the Royal Rumble and I was like completely lost. I was like, I have no idea who these people are, you know. But I've seen people I noticed, but that was a whole other. We're so far up, and it's
Did
so
you
much
ever
fun.
think you would get that way though? That you wouldn't know who the people in WWE are?
No, no, you can. I thought I'd be a lifelong fan, which I'm still a fan of wrestling. It just,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I heard that Jeff Hardy also got arrested for another
Yeah, he got
DUI.
arrested for DUI. Cody Rhodes got hurt, obviously. CM Punk got hurt when he won the title. MJF, you don't know if it's a shoot or if it's a work. He went off on AEW's boss. It's just, there's a lot of craziness going on.
Andy Harden says, I agree. Cody Rhodes made WWE watchable again. Uh, so he agrees with you. Thank you, Andy. Like I said, I'm trying to pull it up so I can. I'm on the laptop, so I can actually see people's comments. If I'm doing it on my phone, I'm very limited on what I can do. But yeah. All right. So I guess we'll go ahead and jump into what we watched,
All right.
and we're going to disagree on this. Uh, I say first, let me say something old that I've just seen for the first time that I watched was the Taking of Deborah Logan. It was interesting. It's like a found footage type of film about a woman with Alzheimer's, but uh, it's more sinister than that. So it's a very interesting little found footage film, and it had me on the edge of my seat a few times. But it was interesting. It was a fun little time of watching. It's a horror movie. It's called The
Yeah.
Taking of
Is, is
Deborah Logan. I think
that
it's the
what we're
name.
disagreeing on?
No, 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 no,
No,
no.
it's
We're
like,
disagreeing on Jurassic World Dominion, uh,
not
because
really.
yeah. I mean, the more I thought about it, the more I just, it's probably gonna make. Actually, it's gonna probably make one of my worst movies of the year list, um, because like I did love the nostalgia of seeing the people, but at the end of the day, it didn't really do anything differently than the other films prior to it. Like I was hoping that everything would take place within the real world and dinosaurs interacting with the real world versus at another park. So in that case, it was just like the same thing. But I did love seeing the original people. I loved it. I love that Jeff Goldblum. I agree with you. He saves the movie. He's the best part of the movie. But yeah, no. And plus, I was hoping for a couple of things. Like I was hoping for the fan theory to be real that Chris Pratt's character was the kid from the original Jurassic Park, where he takes the raptor claw and say, "It's how it will rip you," and not like I always heard that theory, And I was like, it'd be cool if it ended up being the case. And I was hoping him to say, hey, I met you once, and you pulled a rapper claw on me or something like that, you know. And I was like, oh, it'd been cool. Like that would have made me like, really excited. But that didn't happen. And then also, I was hoping that lady was going to be in Jeff Goldblum's daughter from Lost World, but that wasn't the case. But it's fine. But I was hoping that was the case. I was hoping they see each other, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And then and it be discovered that it's his daughter because that they never did anything else with that. But other than those two things, I like the movie. Brandon. Well, other than the things I mentioned, I like the movie.
I mean, the first act is pretty much Fast and Furious with dinosaurs. So I mean, that's where you're at with this franchise. Look, I hated the first act and a half. It was definitely going to make my worst films of the year. But then the third act happens, and Jeff Goldblum shines, and he saves the movie from being a total disaster. I mean, it's not making my best films of the year. It was serviceable. It's not a great movie. It barely gets fresh, in my opinion. But if you don't have Jeff Goldblum or the legacy character, this is a complete turd. And
Hey, let me ask you this. Well, not ask you this. Well, yeah, let me ask you this. So, did you ever think that in 2022 we would think Jurassic World Dominion would have been like, yeah, like meh, but then be like I think we agree that so far the best movie we've seen this year is Maverick. Like, would you?
I can't say Maverick's the best, but
It's
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 up
it's,
there.
it's the best movie I've seen this year, other than
I mean, I would have to
Everything
really
Everywhere
look.
All at Once, and
It's the best
I
movie
say Scream. Out of those three, those are the top three movies I've seen this year.
I mean, I would probably say Maverick is the best, but I really would have to look at what I watched all year. But
Mm.
recently, no contest. It's Maverick. And you have your Tom Cruise haters that come out. Like, what's her name? Leah Remini, or since his
From
movies, the King
the
of
King.
Queens
Yeah,
actress, his movie's doing good, so she's got to talk bad about him. It's just I hate when people come out of the woodworks. Out of wherever
I
they're
gotta say,
hiding. I hate people that like that just come out and just want to bash on people because they're actually succeeding in life. Well, you're
I gotta
not.
say, I
But
am not absolutely a fan of Scientology at all. It is a
no,
cult,
I mean, most people
but
aren't.
but I must say, regardless of that, this movie, the Maverick movie, is phenomenal.
Yeah. Why?
It's
Here's my question to her though, when she brings all this stuff up. Why does it matter about his personal life? We're here to be entertained. We don't care about Tom Cruise's personal life. At least I don't. He could be a complete nut. Go do your thing, Tom. But when you're bringing a movie to the cinemas, just entertain me. That's all I ask. Do whatever else you got to do. Good luck with it. I think he's a nut job outside of movies. But he's a motivated nut job.
he is motivating though. What else did you watch? So let's go ahead and give our marks for World. Our Dominion rather, Jurassic World Dominion. I I would give it. I'm giving it 2.5 markouts out of 5. Like I enjoyed it. I just didn't. I didn't love it. I didn't love it.
No, see, we don't disagree like too much. I gave it a 3 out of 5.
It's serviceable.
Yeah, it's serviceable. It's not the direction I wanted it to go. I didn't want the time jump they did, like 5 years later. It should start where Fallen Kingdom ends. They're in our world. They're free. Is it going to be a war between humans and dinosaurs? We're going to coexist. What's going to happen? But they don't do that. Instead, they even retcon the cloning storyline, which some people say they didn't do, but they clearly did. They retconned it. And in my opinion, she shouldn't even been in the movie. The focus shouldn't even been on her at all. But that's how we get Chris Pratt and what's her name, Bryce Howard.
Dallas Howard, yeah,
Yeah,
Bryce Howard.
it's how you get her. It's how you get them involved, and it just. I wish Spielberg would have came back, because I know if he would have came back, it would have been a completely different movie. And
Yeah.
they said that he wasn't even on set for this final film, so it tells me what he thought the direction they were going. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I gave it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was serviceable by the end. Jeff Goldblum stole it. I did enjoy Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler back. I didn't care about anything else though. I really didn't.
What else did you watch?
Just Elvis.
Okay. And well, you watch also what sitcom are you on? Step by Step.
Oh, Step by Step. Yeah. I've been watching. I haven't watched much lately, but I did finish the first season last night.
Finished season
Season 1.
no, I finished the current season of Duncanville, which is a animated series on Hulu. It's on Fox actually, but I watched it on Hulu. I'm on Star Trek Next Generation season 3. I'm on episode like 27 or something like that. It's like there's too many episodes within. No series should ever have that many episodes. But but yeah, I'm on that episode. And
I
so
respect
far,
you so much for watching Star Trek.
I'm trying to commit to it and finish it. But and I got to a point where it was the episodes was interesting, like the things was pretty interesting. And it piqued my interest. But then there's some episodes that you're like, oh, this is straight terrible. Like this last one I watched with Sarek, who is Spock's dad,
Yeah.
Spock's father. He had an episode with Spock's father, which was interesting. And then there's this one that was on the holodeck. It was really interesting with this crew member that doesn't. He has issues talking to people, but in the holodeck, he's like a badass because he is around like fake people, like not real people that really exist, like a computer program. But yeah, it was really interesting. Um, but yeah,
Would you
all
recommend
in
Star
all,
Trek?
yeah, absolutely. I will recommend it. I would. I recommend definitely Discovery, which is a great. It's a no, New World, Star Trek New World, Star Trek Discovery, which is interesting. Star Trek Enterprise, which was interesting. But if you like Scott Bakula, you'll love that because it's Scott Bakula. Um,
That's pretty amazing.
yeah, but Next Generation is a hard one to get through, especially the first few seasons. It's terrible.
Isn't
Third
it like
season is
beloved though?
yeah. A lot of fans
I
bump
remember
out
getting in a
over it.
fight when I was younger over that show.
Yeah, yeah. Now I don't recommend the original Star Trek. It's like only 1 or 2 seasons, but it's not as good. It's dated.
It's
Star Trek
dated.
Next Generation is also very dated, but
I
yeah,
mean, it's the
but I
80s and
love.
90s.
But then some of the Star Trek movies was great. Actually, I enjoyed like the one with surprised I like the one with the whale. It's weird, but I liked it. It was really interesting.
There's a
Like
whale,
there's a whale. There's a
an
whale
actual whale.
movie. There's a whale movie. There's a movie
Hmm.
with whales.
Well, I'm
Uh,
not into whales, but I like whales. Like, I'm not. It's not that deep for me,
they're
as you
not
say.
sharks,
Yeah,
but
there we go. You put Star Trek with a shark,
I'm
I'm
pretty
there
sure there
drooling,
might be.
man.
I think there might be an episode with sharks. I'm not sure, but
Of course
uh,
there is.
why not? But nevertheless, that's why I'm on Star Trek Next Generation. I'm on episode like I don't know 20. I say 27. I forgot. I might be wrong. There's somebody probably watching it like you idiot. I'm on episode 25 to be honest. 25. See, it's still pretty a lot of episodes. It's season 3.
Season 3.
But all right, let's get to what we're
What we're
here
here
for.
for.
We're here for the war, baby.
Finally, we get to it. Yes.
Finally, the long-awaited Affinity
Oh, man,
War.
it's been
Let
a
me,
journey. It's
yeah,
really been a journey.
it's crazy that it took so long, but oh man, but it's here. Let's discuss. Um, I'm trying to pull it up. This is what the synopsis is on IMDb. The Avengers and their allies must be willing to sacrifice all in an attempt to defeat the powerful Thanos before his blitz of devastation and ruin puts an end to the universe. What I would say it is about is Thanos. Thanos is on his warpath to collect all the Stones, and if by doing so, he will wipe out half of the universe, and it's up to the Avengers to try to stop it. And man, oh, and before I get into it, this movie stars, of course, um, who does it not star? That's the question. Uh,
The bigger question.
um, Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Chris Evans as the Captain America.
Did you
Don
almost say
Cheadle,
Marvel?
yeah, I almost said it. Don Cheadle as Rhodey, Tom Holland as Peter Parker, Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff, Benedict Cumberbatch, Chadwick Boseman. Throw a rock at somebody, you're gonna hit someone that was in the MCU movie prior. Man, I I dare I ask you what the ratings are. I imagine it's through the roof, Brandon.
All right, the ratings, the scores are 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb, 68% like it on Metacritic. Metacritic. 91% like it on Google. It's got an 85% Rotten Tomatoes score with a 91 audience score. It is certified fresh.
All right. So Jim does a emoji of him with his hands up. I guess he's excited about this. What's up, Jim? Let's see. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway,
You don't know what you're doing?
there we go. I'll try to say what's
Hit
up,
that
Jim.
like button, ladies and gentlemen, and subscribe.
Like,
He doesn't know what he's doing.
that's right. Wow. So this movie starts off with a bang. So
It does. It does. It does.
we have essentially Asgard, who was we left them on the ship flying through the universe. Well, Big Thanos caught them and like dismantled everyone, except for at this point Thor, Hemdale, I think that's the name, Idris,
Yeah.
character, and then of course Loki, and the Hulk. But man, it like we have Loki confronting Thanos, and he says we have a Hulk, and the Hulk comes and starts smashing and bashing Thanos. And then the moment, Brandon, the moment that
I won't talk about it.
the moment that Thanos' little sidekick dude was about to get in, and that dude's like, no, 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 let him have his fun. You know, Hulk is about to get destroyed. Hulk is about to lose, and Hulk didn't know what to do with someone that actually is more powerful than he is, and he's more powerful than him. He just like pretty much like punked the Hulk. He
Yeah.
punked the Hulk, and as you said, the Hulk doesn't show up no more in this movie.
He doesn't show up. I hated. Oh, this is where it really started. Really, truly, the hate for Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. I mean, I hated what they did here. I don't hate that he got beat up, but to not come back,
never come back, to never come back,
to not want,
yeah,
to not want to fight him again, to want to prove something to himself. I mean, he's scared. No, that's not the Hulk we know. And that's just no. I mean, it's a deep storytelling method, I suppose, that he's so scared he won't come back, and Bruce has to be Bruce. And I just, but for me, as a massive Hulk fan, it's not gonna damage the score at the end, but it's a massive flaw for me. And I would say every Hulk fan out there, it's what they did to him with this movie. It's just a massive flaw, but it won't damage the score at the end.
This is
I'm,
my thoughts on it. So I think that the Hulk and Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner, never, never, never actually recovers. Uh,
they
like
don't.
even with the other films that come after that, Endgame, let's say like his own character thing is, I guess, that he had to learn how to balance being Bruce and the Hulk and coexist
Yeah,
together. But it is to a detriment to us fans because we never get the Hulk confronting uh, Thanos again to beat to beat him down, and we won't ever get it. We won't get it because
and
Thanos
that's
is
one of my. It's another massive flaw for Endgame is because you have the original Avengers fighting Thanos at the end of that movie, but there's no Hulk, and it's just how do you do that? How do you?
I,
It's
I,
so
wonder,
wrong to the character. I mean, it's just
I wonder who ticked off. Was somebody mad at Mark Ruffalo and just like benched him? That's like benching like one of your
he got
best
benched.
players.
I had no doubt about it.
That's like benching one of your best players and you're down. You're down
That has
like
been. I
what?
tell you what this is. 1995 NBA playoffs. Phil Jackson benches Scottie Pippen at the very end of the game. That's what it's like. He didn't get the ball. They lost. There was no Michael Jordan. Scottie should have been out there, but he wasn't there. That's what this is like.
That's
And
good.
also,
That's a good analogy.
they defeated Thanos without Hulk. It's like we don't need you. It's a
Really,
slap in the face.
yeah. Honestly, Hulk's whole purpose in Endgame was to put on the gauntlet and snap everybody back into existence. It was
Yeah,
it. It was his whole purpose in Endgame. It wasn't to beat Thanos. It wasn't to, yeah. All right, but anyway, let me get back into it because we get some stuff that happens at the very beginning of the movie. First of all,
oh
Hemmendale. I want to say his name's Hemmendale. I keep calling him this. Uh, uh, Hemdale. Yeah, Hemmendale. I was right. So he dies, which that was kind of like, oh man, they killed him, but no, that wasn't the death that rocked me. It was once again Loki's death rocked me because you're like, they killed Loki, and they like, and he says, and there's no coming back from this death, like it's something like that. Like
yeah.
he killed Loki. Loki's dead.
Let's let's talk about it though, because we both know what happens in Endgame. But let's talk about it at this moment. It's like the life has been taken out of the room. It's devastating because he is such a huge character in this universe. I mean, going to this movie in what 2018, I believe.
Mhm.
Uh, I didn't expect the movie to start off like this. First off, but I didn't expect Loki to die either. I mean, it's Loki. You know, he's just as important as Thor. Maybe more
Yeah.
important to some people. But
I'm more of a Loki fan than I'm a Thor
yeah,
fan. So
me
yeah,
too. But to kill him like that, and basically the opening sequence, it's like, okay, this is real. This just, as JR would say, business just picked up.
absolutely.
We start with
And
a bang and a surprise and a shock. You name it, we're starting it.
it's
And
like this is the equivalent to now in my life, the way my life experiences and what I've watched. It's the equivalent of, this is one of those things where you got to know, this lets you know that Thanos means business.
yes,
It's like Ghostface killing Stewie. Dewey,
Dewey.
and yeah, it's like Ghostface killing Dewey in Scream. It's like it lets you know that he means business. That it's legit. That it's, what I'm saying.
It's a
Like,
different movie.
and and that's what I thought. Honestly, I hate to circle back around to Dominion, but I'm glad it didn't happen. But I also thought that's what's going to happen. I thought that they was going to kill Jeff Goldblum. I thought, oh, for definitely,
Oh
like
yeah,
when
I
the
said
tower,
something like that.
the tower, when they was trying to get into that tower thing, I was like, oh, they're about to kill Jeff. Jeff's about to die. You
I was
like
like,
that's what I thought.
yeah, I thought the same. I was like, oh, don't you kill Malcolm? He's why I'm here. Really, I mean, you
I
take
knew
out
they wouldn't
Thanos.
kill. They wouldn't kill the other one. They weren't going to kill the other two.
No, I mean,
He's the only one that they would kill. If they had to
which
kill
is
one of
sad
them,
because he is actually. I don't want to say he's the most liked, but he is the most entertaining Jurassic Park character of all time. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. I ain't gonna say he's most liked because a lot of people love Dr. Grant, and rightfully so. He's Sam Neill. The way he plays him is great. But Malcolm, man, I was scared, and then if it would have happened, I would have wanted to walk out. It would have made my worst films of the year at that point.
at that point. But yeah, no. But my point is like Loki, like them killing
Yeah,
Loki in
I
this
agree.
movie is like it's like them saying, what can we do to let people know that this is serious? And that's what and it was effective because we're like, oh man, if they would have killed Thor like that, it would have been like, oh, this is serious. But of course you're not gonna kill Thor. But
No, you can't
kill his
kill.
brother. Oh man, yeah.
And
That's just like killing Thor.
and it impacts Thor as well. It gives him all the motivation he needs, and because he's gonna come back. He's gonna fight Thanos. He is going to fight Thanos. He ain't gonna be like Hulk. He's gonna want that revenge, and it was a missed opportunity with Hulk. But I love what they did with Thor in this movie. His whole storyline, man. He was hell bent on getting his revenge on Thanos.
So, and we go from there to with Doctor Strange and Wong, and they Wong rather, and they're in the Sanctus Sanctorum, and obviously Bruce falls through the. We don't go immediately there, but I'm going by way of how things really play out. Because it falls through there, boom. That's when we see, we see Bruce. Last time we see the Hulk, and then we see Bruce, and he's like, Thanos is coming. You gotta warn everybody, Thanos is coming. And then we get which I popped. I got excited when I seen Tony on the screen again. I'm like, Tony Stark, man. And then
it's coming.
But I love the conflict between Tony and Doctor Strange. Like they are both pretty much the same guy, like as far as arrogance, but Tony is more arrogant.
It's Tony. And it brings up another interesting thing we've both been saying since we saw Doctor Strange enter this universe. He works so well with others, but he doesn't work well by himself. And this is another example. I feel this is him at his best, honestly, in this film, at least to this point. Which I think maybe this is his best period. But I love the chemistry him and Tony have. The banter, it works so well, and I love Doctor Strange in this movie. It's weird, man. When I watch a Doctor Strange movie by himself or with little help, I'm just like, I'm not into it. When I see him work with other people, I'm like, man, this is where he needs to be.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to see if I got any more comments. Jim, good evening, good citizens. Thank you, Jim. It's 11 minutes ago. I appreciate you. But yeah. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, cool. All right, but yeah, let's go to so yeah, I agree with you. But yeah, I think that he works best with others, and that's maybe that speaks poorly on that character. Like he's just not that interesting. He needs someone around him to make him interesting.
He does.
Whether it's Wong, even Wong makes him more interesting than him by himself. Well, I like Wong more actually. I actually like Wong more.
And Benedict's a great actor. It's not him. I believe it really is the character of Doctor Strange. He's missing something. I mean, I don't know what that missing ingredient is, but he's just something's missing with him That doesn't make him as interesting as the other characters.
Um, so so we have this happening, and at the same time, oh, this scene I want to ask you about because I'm watching it. So while they were in the Sancta Sanctorum, we have Banner, we have Stark, we have Strange, Wong. They're in the Sanctum Sanctorum, and then like they notice like something going on outside, and they go outside, and Tony sees people running and falling. He's helping them up, but doesn't really know what's going on.
Yeah,
Clearly, something's happening. Um, and then when he gets up and sees like the ring in the city, uh, then he realizes what's happening. Two things. This thought just came to me right now, but before that, two things. One, I was getting 9/11 vibes because it reminded me of footage of people running in New York. Like that.
you froze on me.
This we're kind of blanked out there for a second there. Uh,
Yeah, you
and
you, you froze on me.
am I still frozen?
No, you're good now, but
All right. Yeah, you froze on me too. I don't know what that was, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. It's very 9/11 vibes, and then also I can imagine for the citizens of New York, they immediately probably thought about the first Avengers movie with the alien attack.
yeah,
Like to look up and see this big ring in the sky again, they probably
yeah,
thought, "Oh no, it's happening again." You know,
yeah,
like imagine how traumatic that is. So yeah,
yeah. It did give me a lot of vibes of the first Avengers film when they first arrived. So I was like, yeah, I could see the people of New York feeling the same thing, and I think that's what it was meant to do. It's like, okay, Avengers got to fight off another alien attack, but this time it's much worse. It's just much worse. But I love that Tony doesn't. He's like, Thanos. Who's Thanos? I don't know this person. You know.
yeah.
And and then they bring up Steve Rogers. They said we're not really on speaking terms, and I love that he's got a flip phone. He's got Steve Rogers in the flip phone.
Yeah.
I just love that, and he's getting ready to push it, and of course the attack starts. And that's kind of one thing I missed in this film. We didn't see them together at
Oh,
all.
you know what? And also, I didn't notice this until I watched it this time around. So he hesitated to call Steve
Yeah,
because of everything that happened in it was a Winter Soldier. Is that what Civil
Civil
War?
War.
Everything that happened in Civil War. He just was hesitant to call him. And even when he was about to do it, that's when he saw the commotion and stuff, and he never did. And he ended up with Peter, which I love. We got to talk about Peter coming in this movie, but uh, he ended up in space. So it wasn't him that even broke the silence between him and Steve. It was actually Bruce that did that. Bruce broke the silence, you know, because he found the phone and he called. He made the call. But man, I never noticed the fact that that was the case. You know?
Yeah, yeah. But I did want to see them. I think the whole audience wanted it, and they just kind of teased it with Infinity War. But that was also that's a personal thing for me though, because we hadn't seen them together since Civil War, and we hadn't seen either one of them. So what's that going to be like if it would have happened in Infinity? What would it have been like? Would there have been real tension there between these two characters still? And then, but we are going to get an end game. They are going to work along one last time. It's going to be emotional.
Yeah. But we gotta talk about Peter Parker, and
Yeah.
so he pops
Oh
up.
man.
He pops up. Pretty much saves. I think he saves Mr. Stark. He saves
Yeah.
Mr. Stark.
And I love.
Uh,
I can't think of his name. What's his name? What's his friend's name?
uh, I don't know his name. I
He's
remember.
like causing a distraction, and it's. I just love. I love his. I can't think of his name though, but
Yeah,
I love his character.
but
And the only
his
scene he's in, and he's great.
and
And
he causes a distraction. Like it's not so much that he did that. Like, yeah, I got you, bro. It's like it was natural. He's like,
it's
oh,
natural. It's just
aliens,
like
aliens, aliens. He said aliens. We're all gonna die. That's what he
yeah,
said.
It's like it was so natural for him. He loves being part of it, even though he does nothing. But he loves the fact that Peter needs his help. He loves being involved, and I love him. I love him. And of course, as you said, Peter gets the distraction. He goes and saves Mr. Stark, and meets Doctor Strange for the very first time.
Yeah, he said, "My name is Doctor Strange, whatever." Doctor Strange. Oh, we're doing fake names. Okay, I'm Spider Man. I love that, but yeah, I love that. I love that the dynamic of them three working together, and then we get with the Guardians, and they get Thor, which I thought that was really cool, where they're all kind of like, marking that over Thor, and Peter Quill's kind of a little jealous, which
A little.
I felt like that storyline though was actually, out of all the groups together, that was the weakest group in my opinion. Um, Not because of I love Thor. Thor and Rocket together was better than Thor and Peter. I felt like when they was all together, it wasn't as cool as when it was just Thor and Rocket. Honestly,
Yeah, I can see
and,
that.
and Groot and Tree, as they call him. This is Tree.
You know,
I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers.
I love that. In some ways, Thor does work better with a team than Peter does. He's when Thor's around, Peter's not sure of himself. He's unsure. I don't know what it is. I just
He's
I can't say
immature.
it's jealousy, but
He's immature. Peter's so immature.
yeah,
He absolutely became the person I hated the most in this movie, so much. And we'll talk about it. But what was your thoughts on? What was your thoughts on the cameo of the dude Peter Dinklage as the dwarf? He's a dwarf even in this, but dwarfs are tall. The giants.
yeah. I mean, I liked him. I mean, I haven't seen much of his work though.
Game of
I've never
Thrones,
seen.
man, is excellent.
I've never seen Game of Thrones. Cyrus, the movie he did that came out last year, I thought that was pretty good. But I enjoyed him in this movie. If I feel like he's kind of replaced. I don't want to say replaced, but he's kind of
Warwick.
He's Warwick for today.
I think honestly, and this is what I think about Peter Dinklage, where it's I think it's been better for him than it has been for Warwick Davis and Billy. I forget his name. The other little guy from back in the '80s, who's very popular. There's a bunch of them that's really, really popular. But they only got work as little people when they needed little people. The thing about Peter Dinklage is he gets work, and it's not based on him being a small person. He gets parts based on him as an actor. It's not even figured into the scope of things that he's small. Maybe only in Elf, because he played for that. But mainly, whenever I see him get jobs, it's not about him being a little person.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's an excellent actor. And I'm not saying Warwick isn't. Warwick is an excellent actor. This man has range and definitely. But I just think that he Warwick unfortunately came up in a time where little actors were not shown respect, and it's Hollywood's fault. It's not the fault of the little actors that were actually actors. They're actors and actresses, and they're excellent. It's just that Hollywood is discriminatory to a lot of them. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's more power to him though that Warwick did overcome all that, and he's still working today. I mean, it's amazing. And same with Peter. I don't know when he started or anything, but it's a great accomplishment to still get jobs and not even be considered. It's because of your height. I mean, it's just acting jobs, and I think he's a great actor. What I've seen him in, I haven't seen a whole lot, but I've been impressed with him with what I have seen him.
He's absolutely the best part of Game of Thrones. He's one of my favorite characters. But yeah, I want to mention who else? There's somebody. So we have Thanos. Oh, I marked out when we got Captain America's. Like, okay. Also, I know I'm all over the place, but also Vision is useless in this movie. Absolutely useless in this movie.
Yeah, that's what I
Uh,
was thinking.
he,
Rewatching it is like he's he can't defend himself. What happened to him? It's
yeah,
like
when he first showed up, you're like, oh, this dude's pretty awesome. He can like go, like he was pretty awesome. But
yeah,
now, no, he's like, what is his purpose? Like pretty much people are like, let's keep him alive. No, man, he's useless. It's pointless. You should have just killed him and killed and destroyed the. No, I'm sorry, but that's. But I know
yeah,
Wanda. She might come and get me because I'm talking about her boo. But I don't know.
but yeah, I agree. In this movie, he is useless. He's only there for Thanos to get the stone, the last stone, and it's his whole purpose for the whole movie. Stay along long enough to Thanos accomplish his mission, and I didn't. I mean, I guess you gotta have a fall guy in these type of movies. Someone that's been strong, they gotta magically become weak, and he became weak in this movie.
He's the guy.
He's the
But yeah, but no, I loved when Steve pops up, like the
Yeah,
train goes by, and I was like, yes. Oh man, it was like it was an awesome moment because I'm like, yeah, we got Cap, and he catches the thing, and they didn't know what to expect. Uh, but yeah, Steve Rogers, man, yeah, and then but it wasn't only just Steve, it was Falcon, and it was Scarlet, it was Black Widow. They were
yeah.
like, it's like the Avengers. Like I marked out. I said it's the
But
Avengers.
when I was we were rewatching this, it's so much was going on, and this is why I agree with what they did in Civil War. You didn't have all these characters in one film. You just didn't have it, and people complained. In this movie, you got them all over the place, and it's hard to keep up at times. Like certain characters don't get as much screen time, like Black Panther.
Black Panther, absolutely.
I was
It's a
disappointed
it's a
rewatching.
cameo essentially. It's just a cameo for him.
Yeah, I was disappointed rewatching this with Wakanda. You know, they didn't get as much time to
I was
be
going to ask you about
established in
that.
this movie.
I was going to ask you about that because, like, how did it feel going back now and watching this, knowing we know that Chadwick Boseman is no longer with us? Wasn't you just a little bit more sad? It's like when you saw
Yeah,
him on the screen, where you like it
especially
just missed you a little bit, missed him a little bit more.
especially the very ending. That kind of hit me for real. I mean, like, he's no longer here, and it's like, man, oh, that sucks. And
Yeah,
it's the main reason I'm not excited for the new movie because he's no longer here, and I don't think I'm ever going to see Black Panther the same way, no matter what they do. I just don't think I will. I hope it's a great movie and all that, but it's never going to be the same without him. It can't be. I mean, he was so
yeah,
good in that movie, and he's been so good in the role. You just, unfortunately, But yeah, I was disappointed with how they did Wakanda and the Black Panther in this movie. Just like I said, there's so many people in this movie. They're
yeah,
getting prepared for war, and I was thinking they don't know what's coming.
yeah. No,
Really, they don't know what's coming.
yeah.
They're preparing for war and have no idea.
So a couple of other markout moments in this. Well, not just before I get to the markout moments in this movie. Um, there was all right. So Thanos, he is by far one of the most interesting characters in all of MCU history, and actually just listen to him talk. Like Josh Brolin's excellent, but
Yes.
and you don't even think about that. This is a CGI character because Josh Brolin is like he makes him a real character,
Yeah, he
and
comes to life.
Yeah, and I never at one point was like, well, this is a CGI character. Like the whole time I'm looking at him like he's a real character, and and I'm I'm like, man, he's so interesting because he 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 legitimately believes what he believes,
Yes.
and he loved Gamora, but his beliefs trumps his love. He's so committed to his beliefs that he is willing to sacrifice the only thing in this world that he loves, which is Gamora. And Gamora doesn't understand that he loves her, even though it doesn't seem like love. But to him, in his way and in his mind, he loves her. And it's just crazy. That's so complex. It's such a complex thought. But and then on the flip side, Gamora's sister, the other one, I forget her name. Forget her name, but
Nebula.
Nebula. He doesn't love her at all. He literally doesn't. He doesn't love her. She's
But he
like
uses Gamora's love
against
of
her.
her to get what he wants. He's manipulative too. So uh, he is a very complicated character. He's not your, your traditional villain. He's a complex villain who thinks he's right. And those are the best kind of villains who actually believe they are right.
And we know that from the movies and stuff that come after this, there's actually a lot of people in the world that believe Thanos was right. They actually like because you see propaganda and some stuff later on in the future where it says Thanos was right, you know,
Yeah.
written on stuff, and like so there's some people that believe Thanos was right, that Thanos did accurate did according to what he needed to do, and he's a zealot. He's very much a zealot. But yeah, it's just so complex, and I absolutely love Josh Brolin's performance, and and I just every scene that Thanos is on, it just felt like it just felt weighty. It felt like he draws and pulls all the energy and the attention, and not in a negative way, but in a positive way.
Yeah.
Um, it's like he's really the one. He's the dude, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's moving, after Endgame, moving forward. I just, so far, there's been nobody that I've seen that even compares to his character. To forget top villain. I mean, just he's such a powerful character, and I
Yeah.
haven't seen the show, so I don't know what's coming in that regard. But I have seen the movies, and just it feels flat after
Mhm.
Endgame. And I love what Spider-Man's done. I love what both films after Endgame have done. But a villain, you need a powerful villain
Yeah.
for
Yeah. You
your.
can.
And I mean, I don't know every villain in the MCU that they can
Yeah.
use, but I just wonder, are
Good
we going
luck,
to get
right?
another character that matches up with Thanos?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah. And if anybody that's watching this knows this, please comment, because we honestly don't. We're not familiar with a lot of the comics. So I know there's Thanos, and I know there's another character that's supposed to be like a really powerful guy. Well, I'm not too familiar with any of them. I
Is
hear
it like
people talk about it.
I know your guy from uh, Love Love Lovecraft.
Lovecraft Country. Yeah,
He plays a villain, right?
I
Supposed to
believe
be
so. Yeah.
supposed to be this really powerful villain. I just wondered, does he come across like Thanos? Does he come across like that kind of powerful villain?
I hope so. But yeah, I'm shutting this door. The door open.
And Aaron
No,
gets up to shut the door.
no,
Um,
I'm still here.
he's still here. That's great.
Yeah,
He didn't leave me.
I didn't leave you. But all right. So let's move it along. Let's talk about. So they end up in Wakanda because they want to try to get the mind the that stone out of Vision's head, and so that he can live apart from it. Which that plot literally went nowhere. It's just it
It just
didn't
passed
it
the
did
time.
yeah
It
it
filled it.
it
It was a little
yeah
filler.
and I wonder what would have happened if they had done it. But nevertheless, yeah. Um, uh,
Well,
I
I'll tell you
think
one thing
that
would have happened. Wanda wouldn't have went crazy.
this is true. Um, but um, but yeah, the ending of this movie. So we have up in space. We have Stark. We finally get Stark in the Guardians and Strange and Spider Man all together, and Nebula comes into the mix, like somehow. But anyway, we have the dumbest character in MCU history,
Hey,
Peter
hey, hey,
Quill.
hey, 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 hey.
Peter Quill.
He's
Peter
not the
Quill.
dumbest. He's the most emotional character in MCU history. There's a difference.
Man, they almost had it. They almost had it, and he allowed his emotion to get the best of him.
I
And
mean, who
yes,
wouldn't in that moment though?
you know what? And I noticed this that Thanos says he likes him. There's only two people in this movie that Thanos says that he likes, and it was him. Well, maybe I don't know if he says anything to Captain America, but I
No.
know he says that he liked Peter Quill. He said I like him, and then he also says but no, he likes Peter Quill, but he doesn't respect him. But he respects Iron Man. He respects Stark. He says I respect you. You have
Yeah.
my respect. And so maybe that's why, obviously, other than Strange saying spare his life, but he, he was gonna spare his life anyway. He said if you live, you're gonna live long enough to see see this happen or whatever. But he spared his life though. He respects Tony Stark. I don't know.
Yeah. And I love the fact when he's about to win with them, he's like, "I hope they remember you." And that was such a powerful line. Oh man, it was just so powerful. And I couldn't remember before it happened if he said that in this movie or if it was Endgame. But I love that line. It says, "I hope they remember you.
Yeah,
You have my respect, Stark." I loved it. And it was just, and then Doctor Strange told Tony there was only one outcome where they won, and Tony couldn't believe that he gave it up. It's like, he was like, "What?"
why'd you do that? Why would you do
Yeah,
that?
it was
He's
the
like,
only way, Tony.
it's he says it's the only way, yeah. And there was, he says we're in the end game now. He says
Yeah,
we're in the end game now. But yeah, roll credits. No, uh, but yeah, I thought that was good. So we completed there, and then we go back to Earth and Wakanda, and they were pretty much getting beat by Love, Thor coming in and like wrecking house,
yeah,
and then that one part where they're like to Scarlet Witch, you're all alone, and then like Black Widow says she's not alone, and then her and um, Michonne, hey, it's your fault for playing a character so well. You're gonna always be Michonne, just like dude's gonna always be Rick. And Shane's gonna be Shane. It is what it
hey,
is. Shane,
Shane's
Shane,
moved up.
Shane,
Shane's the
Shane,
Punisher.
Shane, Shane. I ain't seen the Punisher, so he's Shane. He's Shane to me until I see the Punisher. He's Shane. But anyway, yeah, but yeah, uh, but yeah. So that was
You know what's
like,
amazing though?
mhm.
He only played Shane for 2 seasons.
He's
That's
so
leaving your
forgiving.
mark on something that you played
Yeah.
it that short and people remember it forever. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. That's John Bernthal, by the way. Love
Shane
you,
and
John.
Sean.
But yeah, I mean, when he goes back to Wakanda, where he goes to Wakanda, and he's just, oh man, he's cleaning house, and Thor's coming back with vengeance. I mean, but what I loved when he goes to like the punch Captain America, and Captain America catches his glove. That was an impactful moment too, because it's like, wow, Captain still got it. Of course, he's
Yeah,
gonna get pummeled in a second, but he still got it for a brief second.
yeah. And
And
and I think it also surprised Thanos as well, because
yeah,
at that point he has all the stones except for like he didn't have a Vision Stone as of yet, right? At that point,
no, no,
but he has all of them but that one. So he's pretty powerful. He's still the most powerful being in the universe, and he was able to stop his punch. stop his gauntlet. It's the gauntlet hand. He stopped the gauntlet hand,
Yeah.
and then he punched him with the other hand. He sucker punched him. He sucker punched him.
Yeah, he's
But yeah, but yeah,
um, but while that's
but
going on, Scarlet Witch is trying to remove the stone from Vision, and that's a heartbreaking scene as well. With everything that's going on, it's so chaotic.
yes. Oh, what a butthole move. Like he's like she's like he he pretty much she destroyed Vision and she's heartbroken. He says,
Yeah,
little daughter, I understand. I'm sorry for your pain. I know loss. You have no idea. Oh, I do. This day gave me uh just but there's no time to mourn. There's no time for anything. Zoop, when he comes back, and then like he just blip, plucks it out of his forehead like it's nothing, and just throws him down. Yeah. Oh, that's so bad. That's heart wrenching. You know.
and then there's Thor coming. Oh boy,
Should have went for the head.
should have went for the
Shoulda
head, and he even says he should have went for the head.
Yeah.
Then he does the snap,
But
and
honestly, no, Brandon. But before that, man, when he did it and he went and he did it in the theaters in 2018, watching this movie, I thought, yes. I literally thought, oh, that's how you defeat Thanos. Like, and then like pushes it in. I'm like, oh man, yes. I was marking out. I was happy. But then like when Thanos says, you should have went for the head. Then I was like, oh, well, he's right. And then like next thing you know, snap.
yeah, I mean, before we get to the conclusion, though, did you expect going into this movie back then that Thanos would win? That the Avengers would be defeated in this movie?
No, no,
I
I
didn't
didn't.
either, but we all knew there was another one coming called Endgame, so we
I
should have
didn't know. We
known.
didn't know they was going to call Ingham.
Well, I
Ingham.
mean, but you knew there was going to be another one,
Yeah.
but there was, I think, if my memory is correct, there was nothing but silence after that snap.
Oh yeah. No, no. The whole scene, like I remember in theaters when I think the first one that melts away is Bucky. Um, he says Cap something wrong, and then like he just started melting like dusting
Yeah,
away. That's what we called it. Dust. Now that's called the blip. I think it's officially called the blip. But he got dusted away, and he was like, oh man, what is it? What is that? And then like everybody, but then the moment I thought, so this moment right here, Brandon, this moment when T'Challa is like, this is no place for you to die, and he grabs her, and I thought she was gonna dust away initially when I watched it back in 2018, but I didn't know anybody was gonna dust away. But when he dusted away, I was like, they killed Black Panther. And that's what I thought. I'm like, they killed Black Panther. I was like, oh man. I'm like, whoa. Because Bucky, you can understand, he's not like a major character. You're like, okay. But Black Panther, though, you're like, whoa. But then also you think, well, he's got to come back because there's no way they're just not going to
yeah.
kill this profitable character.
But then we go to space,
Oh, the
and
one that really counts.
it's Spider-Man. It's Peter Parker, man.
Oh, that
Oh
was so
man,
heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. He
yeah. I
said,
mean that still hits me today.
he felt it. He because of the spider senses, he's able to sense every single fiber of that. So
Yeah,
where everybody else couldn't feel it, it didn't really hurt him or whatever. But for him, he felt it. He felt all his whole body doing it. Um,
that
oh wow.
was very emotional. And I remember 2018. I was so worried about Dawson because I had already heard that Spider-Man died.
Who spoils stuff? Can't you people? You spoilers of people of movies.
And I
You,
was
you
like,
need to be
oh
ashamed of
no,
yourself.
because I mean, I didn't even watch that scene. I was watching Dawson just to make sure he was okay because that's his guy. I mean, that's
But did he cry?
no. He said he'll be back. He's like, I said, yeah, he'll be back. He's got a movie coming, so he'll definitely be back. But I was
But
so worried
yeah.
for him, and but watching it last night, man, just that one hit me the most as far as the character goes, and it
And
just
Tony feels so responsible. He feels so
yeah.
responsible.
And that bond right there with Tony and Peter, man, it's just one of the best bonds in the whole MCU. I mean,
Yeah.
it
It's
really
like a
is.
father and son. It's like a
Yeah,
father and son.
and that's why I've
Yeah.
always said that he was kind of like Uncle Ben for him. Oh, which we all know that's not really true because of the last Spider-Man movie. But I thought he was the Uncle Ben. But it was an emotional scene, and it's an emotional movie all from beginning to end. It just
Absolutely.
does not stop. It's
Yeah. And
tragic. It's a
so,
tragedy, man.
so in the end, we're left with in space, Stark and Nebula, and then on the Earth, we're left with Rocket, Cap, Michonne, uh, Thor,
Bruce.
and Rhodey and Bruce and Scarlet. Yeah,
They could have
or
just
not Scarlet, but Scarlett Johansson, but Black
like
Widow.
they could have
Yeah.
just dusted Bruce. You know,
They could have.
but I found it funny though. They kept the original Avengers,
Yeah,
who started it all.
they kept
I,
it. They cut away everybody that is. Oh yeah, they did. You
yeah,
know, but wow, it's just and the movie ends with silence, like no, like no, Then there's a final. Obviously, there's an end credit, and the end credit, of course, sets up Captain Marvel, which if
wasn't
we
that the
was to
same
watch,
end credit for Captain
yeah,
Marvel too?
no, at the end of Captain Marvel, the end credit was uh the pager and Rhodey and them looking at it. It's like it's still going off, and then
You froze on me. Can you hear me, Aaron? You froze on me. I don't know. I don't know if y'all can hear me or him. I don't know. Uh, but I don't know what to say because he's frozen. I He hasn't deleted it, so we're still on. I don't know who you can hear right now. I don't know if you can hear me or him, but if this is the end here before we get snapped off, I'm gonna go ahead and give my score. I'm gonna give it 5 markouts out of 5. It was one of the best MCU movies I've ever seen. Still to this day, one of the best. Yeah. So it's just me. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna go see if he's gonna try to re-add me. Not sure if he is. I still got it going in case he is. No, he hasn't tried to re-add me. So I don't know. Uh, and I can't end it. I can leave the studio, but I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Brandon Spicer from the Markout Movie Podcast. Next week we will have the Endgame, Avengers Endgame, where we will give our thoughts on that. If you like this or like our channel, click like, subscribe, share, do all that great stuff. Anyway, thank you for marking out with us. This is Brandon Spivey from the Markout Movie Podcast. Hope you enjoyed it.
I'm back. I'm back, Brandon. Brandon, I'm back. What happened? Yeah. So, uh, so we're playing phone tag here. Well, that was interesting. Let me invite Brandon back in. I have no idea. I lost internet connection. Um, Give me a moment. Uh, Bear with me. Uh, yeah, I lost internet connection. Can you? Maybe Brandon will be back in here in just a moment. Bilfer popped up. Hey, Bilfer. Yeah, we had a we had a weird moment waiting on Brandon to come back in. There's Brandon.
We're back.
I lost internet connection for some reason. I don't know why. But
So we're still going. So we're gonna get another ending.
yeah, this is the end game. End game. We're in the end game now, Brandon.
We are in the end game.
All right, Bilford's here right now. Bilford popped up. Hey, Bilford.
Haven't seen you in like 6 weeks, Bilford. Where
Yeah,
you
we've
been?
been looking for you. Yeah, but all right. What can I say real quick? So Brandon did kind of give a ending. I heard you. I was trying to be like Brandon, I'm here. But anyway, real quick, my thoughts before it does it again. I felt like I give this movie 5 markouts out of 5. I think that it was I think it was a great movie. Thanos was excellent. I thought that he's actually by far my favorite villain.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and I think the hero in this would be I say Tony. I want to say Cap, but Tony, man, Tony suffered the most loss, and he feels lonely, and I don't know.
I
It's hard to say.
disagree. I disagree with Tony has suffered the most loss. I think it's Thor.
Thor,
He's
yeah,
lost
Thor,
completely everything.
yeah, he
He's
did.
lost
You're
his
right.
home. He's lost his brother. I mean,
His eye,
his, yeah, I mean, he's lost it all. And to me, Thor was. I liked him the best in this movie, honestly, and I was totally behind his motivation, and so he kind of stole the show from me personally, and
he
that's
did. He did.
shocking. That's shocking because I would never say Thor would steal anything because he can't even steal his own movie because it's always Loki. But in the biggest movie for them, Infinity War at this time, Thor steals it. And that's impressive, Chris Hemsworth. I can't wait to see his Hulk Hogan, by the way.
Yeah, me too, brother. Me too, brother. But yeah, what's your marks?
Oh, 5 out of 5, despite what they did to Hulk. I said I wouldn't let that affect it, and I won't. This was, at this point in time, the biggest MCU movie of all time. And to me, it's one of the better MCU movies. It's one of the best of all time. It really is. It's in my top 5. I like this movie better than Endgame, though. I really do.
Well, I'm about to. We'll go ahead and end it here next week, as Brandon said. I heard him say it. We're going to be talking about the end game. He says you're back. Bilford says this. Yeah, we're back. So what happened was my internet connection for some reason went out. I don't know.
Thanos snapped him is what happened.
Thanos snapped me, and I dusted. But I'm back. So I blipped back. But
See,
yeah,
you shouldn't have came back.
yeah, you missed it. Yeah, the moment you come back, you did it.
It's like,
But no, I'm glad you're here, Bilford. But no, next week Endgame. I'm excited for that one. I was actually excited to watch this movie, and I watched it actually on Wednesday, because I just couldn't wait to Thursday. I was like, let me go and watch it now. So I watched it. Yeah, but next week obviously it's Endgame, so that's going to be exciting too.
yeah, I'm gonna be coming off a real high next week because before we start this, I'm gonna be out of the theater of Elvis. So there's gonna be a real high for me next week. I'll be so excited.
He might come in. He might come in with an Elvis hairdo. Talking about.
I don't have the hair for that, but
you got I almost got Colonel Parker down, so you might can.
Thanks, thank you. The insults come.
Right. Well, like, share, subscribe, as Brandon said before he parted ways. That was his last one. Did you go away as well? Is that what happened, or what?
No, you it was a snap. Thanos got rid of you, and I was in control finally.
He said I was in control.
I got the shine. I got the shine, and then you come back, and it's like it's all gone.
Oh well, sorry, Brandon.
My 5 minutes of fame.
You're stuck with me, kid. But all right, Aaron Whitlow,
Brandon Spivey.
and we are the
Markout Movie Podcasters. Thank you for joining us today. And as Aaron just said, click like, subscribe, share. Enjoy our podcast.
Yes, we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back, Bilford. Please join us next week. Don't be a stranger, buddy. And we appreciate you. Peace.